Hello and welcome back to Cinema Minute. I'm Grant Robson.
And I'm Chris Allen. We've got a quick one for you today. The trailer that everyone's talking about but dropped yesterday. Sorry Ricky Gervais, but it's the Star Wars Rogue One trailer. We'd already recorded an episode for this week. We've got had a few in the pipeline. We thought we're pretty much set. Then when we were editing the other night, the big news that this was dropping on Good Morning America landed. So yeah, we had to talk about this one. And what are your
it's amazing. It's incredible so far. The look and feel of the film already, you can see it looks like a Star Wars film, but not the prequels or any of the new films. It really looks like the original trilogy.
So Rogue One's set obviously just before Episode 4, A New Hope, the original film from 1977, and they really captured the aesthetic look of it, the feel of it.
Yeah, the
sets. The sets really reminiscent. Obviously, we see Yavin base, the Rebel base from that first film straight away. We see Imperial imagery with the original Stormtroopers, not the
not the new ones. The updated
the kind of ones we're so familiar with. So you get transported back there straight away. This is something I guess some people were a little trepidatious about because of the people connected with the production on this one. Again, I suppose for Episode 7, J.J. Abrams is considered, a safe pair of hands in many respects.
Absolutely.
But in this one, I suppose, with Gareth Edwards, director of Monsters and Godzilla, being the director, people were a little more...
Yeah, it's a bit of a curveball, this one. He hasn't got a big film background, but the films he has done have had good critical acclaim, so it's a really interesting one. A lot of the crew are the same in many respects. They haven't really done any of these big franchise films, but they've all got a great, credit.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of from other areas. Again, his more sort of... a sort of shaky cam, found footage sort of style. The DP though, the DP of 0 Dark 30.
Greg Fraser.
They've got a really good crew, and whilst it has that look and feel of the original films, it also really has the feel of a big war film, a big sort of heist film as well.
Excellent,
with the story centering around the stealing of the Death Star plans, that's totally appropriate. Just before the Star Wars, but we know kicks off. This is the founding stages of that war, I suppose.
Yeah, it's completely separate from the actual storyline of the Star Wars franchise. It's like a standalone film, but it connects at the same time.
Yeah, I mean it is the first standalone. I guess all of episodes 1 through 7 now all focus on kind of the Skywalker story to some extent. Following this one family. This is the first time one of these anthology films, a Star Wars story as we're calling it, kind of exists within that universe but outside of that bubble perhaps.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, is that something you're interested in, say, even expanding of the universe?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of fans are. I think with a lot of the media that they're bringing out at the minute as well. So you've got TV series, you've got the new trilogy coming out as well. But Disney have also promised that these standalone films are going to be their own separate kind of franchise. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
But that's the thing. That's the thing that I guess got people worried. How separate is it going to be? But
and we were the same as well. We were.
I mean, again, whilst I like Gareth Edwards as a director, is it right for Star Wars? But again, Alexander Desplat doing the music, a great composer, but it's the first time it isn't John Williams, and it's quintessentially Star Wars. But again, something that I totally nail.
From the trailer, that addition to the musical score of Star Wars overall, it's so ominous. It's beautiful. I love that little ending. The string section just coming in right at the end, absolutely gorgeous.
I was going to say, it's a great choice. Someone who's done some really big scores in the past and worked with. Directed Gareth Edwards on Godzilla as well. So we've got this connection, I guess, going across the board. Writers, we've also got Gary Whitta. Obviously, he did
quite a diverse mix. Gary Whitta.
Gary Whitta did obviously Walking Dead Series 1, the video game, which was a smash hit.
Lots
sort
of
thing.
Media,
He's also did Book of Eli. Did the sci-fi the Will Smith sort of sci-fi film too. But also is writing an upcoming episode of not the Clone Wars, so it's Rebels. So again, something that's going to tie directly in to our upcoming film here too. Chris Weiss did the rewrite on this one too. He's got a diverse career. Right.
I mean, so he's done Ants. He's just in a recent Cinderella. What else?
So Disney Connection recently there.
Things like American Pie and stuff like that. So he's done quite a lot of.
So a little bit. diverse, but certainly bringing a different, I suppose, aspect to it. But very,
Absolutely.
you know, a success one which shows that diversity and success. And that is something that Star Wars is all about.
Yeah.
Again, something people weirdly have been complaining about online, the amount of diversity in this film.
Yeah.
And people saying, you know, oh god, here's another PC Star Wars film
really
after the
strange
Force
one,
Awakens. And like, such, in 2016, such an insane argument. Like,
Yeah.
like the fact there is a female lead is something that gets people angry.
Yeah,
But
and,
the fact she's like an Academy Award winning Best Actress
Exactly.
and is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, the supporting cast was Omid.
It was the same
Donnie
about
Yen,
Force
like-
Awakens as well, though.
Yeah, with Oscar, you know, female lead.
John
Ridley,
Boyega,
John
Oscar Isaac.
Boyega, like
Yeah.
black lead character, sort of, you know, Oscar Isaac too. You know, non-white leads. People seem the fact that people are still getting like
Annoyed about that in
in
2016.
2016. Like, if that's your opinion,
Yeah,
like maybe
exactly.
Star Wars isn't. You're not actually a Star Wars fan. You know, that's
Yeah.
kind of what the films are.
Not very
Actually
becoming of a
about-
Jedi, is
I was
it?
gonna say, yeah, you know, you
Rather
know,
Sith.
you a bit more Empire than Rebel, I suppose. So maybe this film isn't for you. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about
Yeah,
those
let's
Rebels.
get down
What
to
do
the
you think-
trailer, yeah.
What do you think of the characters introduced here?
Yep, so the main character we see, from the outset of the trailer, we see Jyn Erso, which is played by Felicity Jones. She's in chains, going through Yavin Base, which we've kind of picked apart and speculated on. We're definitely sure it's Yavin Base, though.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it again, with sort of vines hanging
Yeah.
down, you know, that sort of iconic imagery. You know, she's kind of being read a criminal record
Yeah.
when we meet her character, which transitions into a scene of Mon Mothma again, which
Excellent.
is, you know,
Yeah.
while we're saying it's in this universe, you know, that's something that definitely links it to Return of the Jedi, and interestingly links it to Revenge of the Sith too.
Yeah.
This actress was actually cast, you know, 10 years ago for
In the same role.
Revenge of the Sith as a young Mon Mothma,
Mhm.
in a role that was sort of ultimately cut from the prequels.
Yeah.
Because I guess George Lucas realised people had too much politics in their prequels already, so maybe didn't need any more of that.
Yeah.
So it's great to see this link of this character tying it back together. You know, that's something that these standalone films, they seem so separate, but also they've got something that totally,
Ties them
like,
in.
it's such a little thing, such a small supporting character in Return of the Jedi, someone who, you know, gives the rebels that send-off speech.
But as we know, is integral to the storyline.
But
just
yeah,
for
you know,
the
like,
readers.
she's just someone who's kind of, we know as being one of the, you know, highest rebel leaders.
Yeah.
And just seeing that little bit of continuity, yeah, Star Wars definitely went on Throwback Thursday yesterday, you know, I suppose is the thing to mention there. And, you know, that's a, you know, great
Definitely.
tie along with all the sort of visual cues as well.
The look of her as well literally looks like the actress
Yeah,
from
like
the original
perfect
trilogy.
casting.
Yeah.
Like, we're in the same outfit as well.
Flawless.
She clearly doesn't have a diverse. You know, when you're a rebel
One
leader,
wardrobe.
when you're a rebel leader, yeah, you've got to spend money on new
You don't use
Y-wings or something.
disguises.
Who else have we got here then? We've also got.
So we'll see a little bit later on in the trailer of Donnie Yen. We know quite a lot of the cast so far, but Donnie Yen was the main one we've seen extra in
See
the
a
trailer.
good action scene with Donnie Yen. Sort
Beating
of like
the
a
shit out of
flying.
Stormtroopers.
Yeah, I was gonna say really taking some Stormtroopers to task, sort of Morgan Dead style with
Yeah,
his
yeah.
bow staff sort of thing.
I think it's going to be really exciting to see a bit of combat that's kind of outside the Jedi Order and the Sith.
Yeah, I think that's one of the really interesting things about this film. Again, something separating it from those core storylines. You know,
Yeah.
someone, you know, focused around characters who aren't mythical in a way, aren't, you know, don't
Exactly,
have
yeah.
the Force connection, but focusing on again that more war side of the Star Wars, I suppose.
Absolutely. I think that's going to be an underlying theme through all of this film as well. I think anything that comes out about it's not going to be about the Jedi Order.
Yeah, again, it's, you know, we see this in sort of action scenes as the trailer progresses
Absolutely.
as well. You know, this are more based in reality, more based in realism. Just, you know, from not having that connection of the Force, you know, the war scenes look more, you know, it's for troopers on the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, to jump ahead slightly to one of the real iconic images of this trailer, the AT-AT attack at the end.
Oh, fantastic.
You know, but it feels like Battlefront. It feels like
the game. It's really visceral. I think that's what's going to really lend itself. You know, the scriptwriter, the director of photography. They've all got this background in kind of war drama films, or action films, and I think from that shot alone, we can really tell that it's going to be an exciting watch.
Yeah, I think you want those skins. Just DLC
Yes.
on
Bring
Battlefront
them out,
already.
please.
Yeah. That's your
Yeah.
DLC code you paid
Definitely,
for, like,
straight away. Season pass, I'll buy it.
Forrest Whitaker, I guess, being the other like rebel we see kind of prominently
Yeah.
here too.
This is kind of a mysterious one. What do you think of
Yeah,
this?
I mean, again, he looks like he plays sort of a mentor role as opposed to Felicity Jones's Jin character.
Yeah. There's a couple of rumours online already. He might maybe a bounty hunter or in hiding from the Empire, which is what it looks like from the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's, you know, the thing with all the rebels. They're all, you know, somehow positioning themselves not as, you know, an Imperial. But I suppose, like, his armour especially, like, you know, it looks big, it looks sort of
bulky and...
But, like, sort of battle-worn as well, yeah. I suppose, like, looks like he's been through
He
stuff.
walks with a limp as well, so it looks like he has been through, been through the mills, like.
So yeah, it's an interesting one. The other, another rebel we see slightly is a character people are speculating to be Biggs, Darklighter from, again, A New Hope, Luke's childhood friend from Tatooine.
Used to shoot womp rats in T16.
Shoot womp rats? T16's back on.
That's no bigger than 2 meters.
You know, so if it's this character or not, it would be another great minor link.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a character we're really familiar with. A character we only see for a second or two in the film, but here it would be great to see some of that expansion. If it isn't, that's good too. I mean, again, you know, people are perhaps expecting too many links. You know, again, it's the Force Awakens problem of like, is Rey Luke's daughter, or is it, you know, like, I don't know, the idea that not everything is connected, you know, that is what makes this universe bigger. I suppose,
this galaxy's quite big and it's only been around one family, so if there's any relations or family,
that's the thing, and you know,
it's going to be like
some, you know, like it being smaller connections perhaps seems again more real, I suppose, than anything else.
To be honest, I wouldn't mind an insular story that's completely separate from the whole Jedi Order and things. I think that would add a lot more to the actual mythology and the canon of Star Wars than anything else.
But I suppose the biggest connection is for, you know, the thing that, again, this film totally centres around, and that's the Death Star plans. We see the Death Star kind of early on.
Fully operational.
Almost fully operational. Like, I suppose it's getting its last piece slotted in.
Like the Lego puzzle.
Like, it's literally the IKEA flat pack Death Star sort of thing. That last, and we're done. Like, that's, you know, the Emperor sort of like, good. Like, I suppose, you know, we saw this being constructed at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
You know, we know it's
out there,
it's no moon in A New Hope, you know, it's blasting planets from the sky and whatever. So, you know, this again, that last stage, the time the plans need to be stolen, I suppose.
Yeah. So this is going to lead right on until up to the original trilogy of A New Hope, where R2 and Leia have the plans. She hides them, and then they send R2 off with the plans. In the escape pod.
Yeah, it certainly looks like certainly look like it's going, you know, like to have some real close connections to that too.
Definitely.
While we're, you know, we see a lot of Imperial imagery as well, which again, along with the Death Star, we see Star Destroyers, we see original Stormtroopers, we see, you know, even sets. The one where Ben Mendelsohn's character is standing, it looks like where, you know, Grand Moff Tarkin's, you know, sort of control room on the Death Star.
And I think this is a character that everyone's going to be really excited about.
This is a character that, like, for how little we see of him in the trailer, like, again, an Imperial officer, but in a white tunic this time, which again we do see in A New Hope.
Yeah.
But this time with a massive cape.
And
the cape game in this film is strong. Like, I mean, again, you know, Lando Calrissian would be proud. Again, you know, don't listen to The Incredibles. Like, capes are good. You know, definitely.
Capes are good. Especially if you're strutting around the Death Star, you need a cape.
Yeah, like, you know, just that one scene of him just standing menacingly with a massive gun in his hand, and the really beautiful looking shot of him again walking through that battlefield again that we see from the end of the trailer. Yeah. But, you know, him walking around with the destruction kind of all around him, with the cape just sort of flowing behind him into the ocean behind him. Like, beautiful imagery. We also get some sort of new Imperial designs in this one too.
Yes, so we've got a couple of new Stormtroopers from the teaser trailer we received on Wednesday night, before Good Morning America aired.
1 second of footage,
We've got this new Stormtrooper. We've had Shadow Stormtroopers before, the one's all in black, but this one has a new mask, so we're thinking maybe it's commandos or
something that people from, you know, the video games expanded universe, you know, but not the films that we've seen these black Stormtroopers, but again, maybe it's something, you know, that connection to the EU. Maybe something like you're saying, like a special ops too.
Yeah.
We also get a couple of other ones too. We see.
There's a great scene in the trailer that's actually in Canary Wharf.
Again.
Very strange.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, I reckon I've gotten up a tube there before, sort of thing. We see.
So the Death Star's on the Jubilee line.
I was gonna say, yeah, like. you know, we see some sort of yellow stormtroopers here, sort of
like a desert stormtrooper. So we're getting a lot of new costumes and things like that, but that normally tends to lend itself to new scenarios.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, like different possibilities. Maybe it's you know something desert, like you say. Maybe it's like it looks a bit bulky of a costume, so maybe definitely. It's sort of like a heavy weapons sort of thing.
Which leading on to that, we've got the first artillery for a stormtrooper. Apart from AT-ATs and walkers. We'll see tanks now as well.
Yeah, a little shot of some stormtroopers riding up on a big tank. It's like again different sort of armour again.
Yeah,
and again, I suppose if this is between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, there is still going to be that transitional period of from the older armour of the clones to the newer armour of the stormtroopers. So, and if nothing else, this is some more action figures. You know. I'll probably want to be buying. Yeah, like I'm gonna need a loan or something for the new stuff coming from this film. In that scene though, we see again, our heroes sort of being pursued by the look of it. We also see this cool robot-looking character.
Yeah, he comes up a couple of times as well. What do you think of him?
Yeah, I mean, again, quite a mysterious one. Something we only see from the back in an earlier shot with Jin in a fight scene, and again in this sort of chase scene in whatever Imperial facility or tube station that it might be set in. Again, like looks like might be a motion character, sort of big robot sort of character.
And the fact we're seeing him twice with Jin as well, no doubt lends itself to another character that we're going to love. Star Wars audiences tend to have a big liking for robot characters, androids. So like BB-8 in The Force Awakens, this may be a new one for the merchandising.
Yeah, I mean that is something that we don't see much of in this film. Interestingly, we don't see many. Outside of some background gunk droids and like an astromech going through the thing, we don't really see a focus on any droid characters or really any alien characters as well, which is something sort of consider to be quintessential Star Wars. So that'll be interesting. One of the other big rumours is that the sort of black hooded figure we see in this trailer. That's kind of one of the real mysteries surrounding this one. What are you thinking?
I'm really interested to see what this character is. There's been a lot of speculation about Darth Vader, but we don't think that here because of the fact he's very thin and he's very tall, but he's very thin. And
I guess with bodies, again, one of the interesting things he's wearing a hood, which we never see Vader wearing. So I guess it could be again an alternate costume, but it seems a bit unnecessary when you've got a massive black helmet under there anyway.
We should point out that the only cast member that we know of as a villain is Mads Mikkelsen, and he isn't
someone we don't see, so could it be his character?
Yeah.
In this scene, we've also got two of the Emperor's sort of royal guards in the red, sort of really cloaks and stuff like that. Yeah. Again, a character bowing. So again, could it be, whilst maybe not Vader or the Emperor, maybe that could be some connection of these really higher level Imperials we might be getting to.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really interesting one for us as well, because if we're not getting the overarching story of the Jedi and the Sith fighting, we're going to see a lot more of the Imperial command.
That's the thing, it's still very much a time when they're, as much in control of the galaxy as they ever are.
Definitely.
So, them really...
I mean, I'd be happy to see a lightsaber or two in there, but if there's not, I won't be disappointed.
That's the thing, episode 8's only a year after, so, it's coming, that, the Skywalker balance, it's just on the horizon.
I'll get excited.
Have you got any final thoughts on anything that maybe you're still hoping to see in the next trailer? Again, obviously this film's still 8 months away.
Yeah, what
else? What's going to be the next thing that really grabs you for this?
I think fans are absolutely loving this. First of all, it really captures the original look and the feel of the Star Wars films, and I think that's what people are worried about. So I'm excited to see what they bring in the next trailer. But Mads Mikkelsen's character, I really want to see who the villain is. I always like a Star Wars villain. I think his villains tend to be more preferred characters.
It's something Star Wars did
really
so well. I mean, I think for me, I think it's, again, this trailer's really laid a lot of those slight trepidations to rest, really. And knowing the quality of people they've got working at Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy, I don't know, we shouldn't have been ever worried, really, and this trailer really proves that.
Definitely.
It looks like, again, the look, the style, the feel of what we all love about Star Wars, but also adding stuff that's new and stuff that's going to make new kids want to watch, but link them to the original trilogy and stuff too, which is a great sign.
Really excited for the other media that Star Wars are bringing out as well. The next season of Rebels, that's going to be an interesting one with them actually using crew members.
Yeah, again,
from the
tying closer and closer together
Yeah.
in this new film. You know, I'm sure there will be some Battlefront of
Yeah,
it. So, you know, again, I guess, like, it's a good time.
It's
a good time to be a rebel.
alive. Oh, nice put it together.
A good time to be a rebel. Come on, like, being alive is good, one thing.
That's
but
alright, but
being
be a
in the Star
rebel.
Wars universe is the really next step, I think. But thanks again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this trailer as much as we have. People have got some good gifts out of like Star Wars stuff recently, if nothing else. So, you know, that's something, I suppose. If you have enjoyed, get in touch with us. Where can we do so?
You can like us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and make sure you're following and subscribing on YouTube for all the latest episodes.
Yeah, we've got a few episodes coming out soon, so make sure you do subscribe. Click on that link. I think it's definitely in this corner. Definitely in this corner. Well, maybe. Either way, please subscribe.
Let us know who's right.
I was going to say, yeah, like prove it, I suppose. Do feel free to comment as well, get in touch, and we'll see you again real soon. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.